update with Tom first, so we can so he can go ahead and leave a video without having to go through the rest of the meeting. So
Well,
Tom, what?
Yep, and I appreciate, as always, letting me go early, Gerald. And yeah, there's not a whole lot new. The drawings are out. I think Codell issued those to Lynn Distribution, I believe as of last Wednesday. And I don't have my drawings yet, but if my memory is correct, the bid date is March 8th. And that should give good time for us and Codell to evaluate the bids, make sure they're proper, they're what they're supposed to be, and hopefully to come to you all on the normal board date to give a recommendation.
Yeah, Tom, I've got that as Tuesday, March the 9th at 2 p.m.
Okay.
The bid openings.
Okay, that sounds about right. As off, but that's in the same time frame that he was telling me. And the way that process goes is contractors, as they look at it, if they have any questions, they get in touch with us and we issue an addendum. And right now I'm working on an addendum that will go out likely on Monday. And mostly that's housekeeping stuff, nothing of consequence. And earlier this week, I sent Karen a proposal for special inspections. And if I haven't mentioned that to you all before, special inspections are mandated by the state. Housings, Building and Construction wants people, a third party, to make sure that the concrete is properly reinforced, to make sure that the soils meet the specified earthwork, and miscellany others. And our structural engineer sent out a request to 5 different providers of those services. And to make a long story short, Ellie Gregg, a Lexington firm, had the lowest of those 5 at $9,940. And we've worked happily with Ellie Gregg and all the other 4, but it's our recommendation that you take the lowest one. We don't actually need to have this determination until construction starts, but if you want to tacitly approve that or put it off, that's fine with me.
I did share, Tom, your email with them with all of the proposals.
Right.
And then the Ellie Gregg proposal is in the board packet, but it's by far, I think, the best. I think we worked with them before on this project. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Bowser Mourner did did our geotechnical, but I can't remember. Ellie Gregg may have done the special inspections. I don't remember. But yeah, they're certainly qualified. I have no concerns of them.
Well, does anyone have any objection to going ahead and approving that now? Or do you all want additional time to take a look at the proposal?
I'm comfortable with it right now.
Okay. Well, then do I have a motion to go ahead and approve Ellie Gregg special inspections proposal?
I will make that motion. Second.
Okay. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. None opposed. Motion carries 4-0. So we've taken care of that item.
Okay. Thank you much. And just a couple of miscellany. We talked about the consolidation plat, and Gerald knows because he signed it, but that has been signed and finished. So that's behind us. And I also got a signed temporary construction easement from Nicole Jacobson Nally, who's the agent for the property at the Mattingly office. So that's behind us as well. So the only other item I have is something that we touched on at the last board meeting, the dedication plaque in the local history room naming. And what I did in the final drawings, I simply left that as as having unlimited text. So we have a relatively large dedication plaque that you all can add names to, or we can omit that altogether. And likewise, in the local history room, we have black letters that have a gilded border that's state local history room. But if you all want to call that the Woodford County Historical room or the John Q. Public Library, you can do that also. So you can either punt that along, or you can, if you don't want either of those, we can remove that from the work via addendum.
I think we ought to kick the can down the road for a little bit.
That's fine. That's easy to do. And that's really all I've got. I'll continue to as questions arise, we'll do the addendum. And if anything of consequence arises, I'll reach out to Karen and we'll chat through it.
Tom, do you have a date when we will start demolition?
No, one of the things that we'll do once we have an acceptable bid is we ask the contractors to share schedule information as well as a host of other bits and pieces. And Codell will sort of drive that bus. I'm sure they have a guideline, but I don't have a number I would put forth to you as a finished fact.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions for Tom?
No?
I guess you're free to go, Tom.
Okay, well, I appreciate the time and I hope you all have an equally brief meeting.
Thank you. Have a good evening, and hopefully you won't get snowed in.
Yeah, well, yeah, this room gets pretty small. See you all later.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Tom.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Well, the next item, or the first item on the agenda, is the approval of the January minutes. So has everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes? And if so, does anyone have any changes to make to those minutes?
I make a motion, we accept the minutes as presented.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor of accepting the minutes as presented?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed. Minutes are approved. The next item on the agenda is the financial report. Karen?
Yes, sir. Once again, we're just kind of swimming right along. We're a little bit under budget currently due to the pandemic. We're at 48.6% of our total budget. We should be a little bit closer to 50, well, probably 55, 60. So, but, as folks continue to come back to work, that'll iron itself out for the rest of the fiscal year. We do have a CD that's coming due the end of February. I believe it's the 28th. And, Jerry and I talked briefly about this, we've kept it in a local bank, but I didn't know if you all would like me to check Lexington to see if we could get a higher rate somewhere. If you look at the investments, or if you had a chance to look at it, it's very interesting how much even a little bit of difference in the interest rate makes. I mean, the money market account has 373 and the CD is at 380. So that's a big difference, when they both started out the same and the interest rate stayed the same on one and it went down in the other. So I'd be happy to do that if you don't think that would be a good idea. Or unless you want me to, if we want to keep it here, I'm also good with that. We'll shop till we find the best rate.
I think we look for the best rate.
In the area.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Like give a couple of calls to Lexington and around just to see.
I think so, yeah.
I would let them know that you're shopping it around. That might get you a better rate also.
Okay. I'll do it. I may be able to wheel and deal. Or maybe if I get a rate in Lexington, I can call and
Karen, is there any way to shrink the size of the money market account so that we can get a better interest rate on part of that? Or do you think we need that much in it?
No, the only reason why it was in that is because at the time the rate was almost comparable, and they're in two different banks right now. One is a community trust and the other one is, Citizens Commerce. So we were just trying to even it out, so to speak, but there's no reason. No.
I recommend that you take a look at that money market account and see how much you could put into a CD, because obviously you get a better rate there.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. I mean, we may want to maintain like some of that, maybe half of it, just if we have any oddball construction costs come up. If there's we need some cash, I think it would be good to maybe keep half of that liquid, but the rest, just take advantage of what we can get. Okay, I'll do it.
Okay.
But if anyone has any questions about any of the transactions, please let me know.
Okay, do I have a motion to go ahead and approve the financial report and authorize payment of all the payment vouchers?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed. Motion carries 4-0. Karen, I think you're also up for the Friends report.
Yes, unfortunately, I was unable to attend last week's Friends meeting due to a personal matter, but I did. I've spoken to Nicole. She was actually in the library a couple days ago, and there's not a whole lot to report right now. We're going to update the scholarship application, and she has reached out to Miss Wilson in Midway about joining the Friends, and she heard back from her. So they're moving forward on that. And that's about it.
Okay.
For right now.
Any questions for Karen about the Friends? Okay. Well, the next item on the agenda is the Historical Society report. Susan, how are things going with the Historical Society?
Well, right now it's quite snowy down there, but I understand from Mike Coleman that the parking lot is going to be cleared at 6 o'clock in the morning. I had asked him today about when that would happen, because even the city parking lot hadn't been touched, but they're doing it in the morning. Don't really have a lot to report. There was no offers of suggestions from the board on the naming of the room. And I think I just left that with them to think about. And I was glad to hear Mo say that we're just going to kind of kick the can down the road and let us think about that. Again, there were questions raised about the whole cataloging process, and I think that the details of that, Karen and I just need to work out. My issue is wondering about you're getting in the building, how we're going to make all that happen, and I think you and I, Karen, can probably make that work. We started on Monday down there with the tax aid program, and of course we had to cancel Tuesday, but we did start on Monday, and I have appointments that are reaching out to the 5th of April, and I'm full. I cannot take any more appointments. So, Karen, if you want to pass that on, we can give the number out, but the news is that we're full.
Okay.
So, that is the news from the Historical Society. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is the report from the Versailles Library. John?
Oh, hello, everybody. So yes, I'll follow up first, I guess, with Susan's, because that was going to be one of my points that we've referred many people to the tax aid program as it will exist this year. So I guess we'll be changing our script a little bit on that. Well, I'm glad that so many people have been able to, at least the number of people have been able to take advantage of it. We of
Well,
course,
and John, you do need to know that the library has been our main source. I mean, I did not give the appointment number to anybody else but you all. So everyone that's come in practically has come through the
Come through that.
library, and I appreciate that.
sure, of course. I mean, we're always happy to do it. It's not to get too far off the course, but it's always been a really good partnership that we've had. We of course reopened on February 1st. I think it's on the whole gone very well. But it's just as we were getting momentum, the recent weather storms kind of stalled that momentum a little bit. So it's kind of, we're still getting traction, so to speak. And hopefully as we get kind of better weather, that'll take care of itself. Of course, the winter reading program continues. I think Patrick shared this last time, but we got the mug. And we've got about, so far we've awarded 35 of them, almost half of the kind of allotted number that we ordered. So that's been going well, despite both the pandemic and winter weather. So again, it's just kind of staying the course and kind of making our way through everything that gets kind of thrown at us. But that's all I have. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for John? John, thank you. Stacy, what's going on in Midway?
Well, I'll just echo a lot of what John's saying with the getting some momentum and then the weather hitting. But, you know, people are starting to wander back in. I just signed somebody up for a new library card today. So, you know, people are finding the library. We brought back one of our part-time staff here, which is nice. So we have now 6 part-timers in Midway along with me as a full-time. We've been doing a lot of online programming, a lot of Facebook Live programs. We've got our town hall Discovering Woodford with the chamber on Friday, and we will be discussing senior living and aging resources. So I think that'll be good, and we're just moving right along.
Yeah, if you get a chance, if anyone gets a chance to tune into that, it's a really neat, it's a great program. The first one was really interesting, and I think this one is queued up to be just as interesting. It's really cool to hear right from the leaders of those different organizations.
And I think that's a really important topic right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in Woodford County. Yeah.
That's all I've got. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Stacy. It's time for the director's report. Karen?
Well, there's not a Tom Smith about covered everything, I think, that's on the agenda currently. The only thing he ran over the expansion and the special inspections proposal, but if you all would like to recognize the recorded deed of conveyance and consolidation, there was a copy in your board packet. This was signed by Mr. Rucher since the last board meeting.
Yeah, part of that is that we signed it, but I wasn't authorized to sign it. And so it was suggested by our attorney that we go ahead and take care of it. So if I could have a motion just to retroactively authorize the president to execute a deed of conveyance and consolidation for the 2 parcels of real estate owned by the library that are located on South Main Street, Versailles, and to affirm and ratify his execution of the deed. So can I get somebody to move that?
So
I
moved.
moved.
Okay, do I have a second? I have a second. So all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
None opposed, the motion carries. I've never seen that done before, the motion of the process for consolidating 2 parcels. I basically deeded everything over to the Phyllis Mattingly, and then she deeded everything back to the library. So it was quite, hadn't seen anything like it since law school. Karen, do you have anything else for us?
Well, I guess the pressing matter for the day is the current weather situation. this has been an ongoing ordeal, and Mr. Rucher, I have to give you credit. Thank you so much for being so available, because it's been a rough week. So I watched Judge Kay's presentation with Drew Chandler. Stacy, he didn't mention any closings, did he? Did he call anything? Because I missed the last 10 minutes. So.
No, nothing official. He just said, I expect many closings tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. So basically what you were right on that line. You know, we've all watched the weather reports, but it could be anywhere from 4 to 6 inches, 4 to 6 inches of snow, and perhaps some additional precipitation in the form of freezing rain or sleet, on top of what we already have. Now, you know, I did drive in from Lexington today, and the roads were fair. You know, they were good. And the right-hand lane of Versailles Road was fine. The passing lane was a little dicey in spots, but I suspect that this coming on top of that, and the temperature not really expected to rise throughout the day. I was wondering if perhaps, once again, if we would consider opening the library tomorrow at noon. That would give the road crews time to get out, get it cleared. My people are having trouble getting out of their neighborhoods. That's the problem. You know, I mean, it's like once we get to one of the larger roads, we're fine. Those of us that have all-wheel drive, it's a lot easier, but not everyone has that, and it's making it difficult. But I thought that way, maybe if we just wait that couple hours, it would just be easier for them to get in safely. I know we've kind of, you know, we've had some downtime, but we've also been open too through a lot of it. So I didn't know.
So does anyone have any objection to?
No, I think that's
to the
fine.
report? Well, no one has a problem with it, Karen. I'd go ahead and go with it.
Okay, the reason it's better like on the PR end too, because we can go ahead and get this out there tonight, so the public's not, you know, trying to second guess us. You know, I think that would really help. And then of course, if we wake up tomorrow and it's terrible, well, Jerry, he may have to have a conversation, but fingers crossed. I mean, if we get snow, that's not bad. It's that ice that's the worst part. So we'll roll with that then. We'll plan on opening at noon tomorrow. Fair enough?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It really does, because these guys are such troopers. I mean, everybody came to work today except for a few people that were absolutely stuck. I couldn't make it, but everybody else was here and happy. And, you know, during a snowstorm during a pandemic is a hard thing to get excited about, but they've done great. So I certainly appreciate this very much.
Okay. Is that all you have to report today?
Yes, sir. That's it. That's all I've got.
Okay. Do we have any other business to discuss? Any old or new business? Well, then I guess the only thing we have left to do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Do I have a second? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
None opposed. Everybody stay safe. Have a good evening.
Thank you
And
all.
hopefully we won't have a
Thank you all.
before we meet again. So
Yeah, everyone
take care.
stay safe. Thank you.
Aye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.